All right, when you first create a campaign, this pop-up box is going to show up. This is also new, so if you haven't built a campaign in the last 2 months, this is going to look different to you. So now when you start it, this pop-up box starts, and you have to choose what is your objective going to be. This is that secondary objective that I was speaking about earlier. It's going to target first the people by gender, age, location, and their interests. So that's going to narrow it down. But this is your secondary goal. So I'm going to quickly tell you what are the most popular choices here. Because again, we don't have time to go over all of them. So right here, when you see reach, reach is going to get your message out to the most people possible in your group. So reach is great when you want to introduce a new product. If you're not ready or you don't think your clients are quite ready yet to be purchasing your product because they don't know what it is, you want to use reach because that's going to get it out in front of the most people possible. The second one that most people use right here is called traffic. It is a terrible name. It should be called link clicks, which I've told them about over and over. Traffic makes no sense. Traffic is a bunch of cars driving up and down on a road, but traffic really means link clicks. So if you choose traffic, you're going to be able to target by link clicks. Engagement is every sort of engagement that you would have. Shares, comments, likes, loves, all of those things. So if you choose engagement, you're going to ask the computer to find people who are most likely to like your page or like your post. And video views is the next most common one. And if you use a video in place of a graphic, so you're not doing a still, you're using an actual video, this will find people in there who are most likely to watch your video. And if your video is to explain a product, that is a very good idea, especially if it's something brand new that people don't know how to use it. All right, so the next thing after you choose that, the screen is going to scroll up and it's going to give you an option to name your campaigns. So as an example, this is their default, and this is what I like to use as a campaign name. If you set it up this way, it's going to be a lot easier for you once you start running reports. So first of all, put what your campaign is. Link clicks. Are you running a video view? So for this campaign, let's say I'm going to go for link click. So I'm going to say link click campaign, then the name of the product that you're running it for, link click campaign, first book, let's put it that way, and then the date. And there are places you can see the date for your campaigns, but this makes it much easier at a quick glance to know approximately when you started that campaign. So your campaign is the overarching group. An ad set is, let's say you're going to run a campaign for link clicks and you're going to create 4 campaigns underneath them. So you want to make sure under ad set name that you give each one of those a different title. So even if it says ad set 1, ad set 2, ad set 3, just so you can tell them apart. And then there's the actual ad. This is where your pictures and your content live. Personally, I name all of these the same thing, and for every single post that I'm going to run, I make one campaign for it. Again, you can do it differently, but that just makes it easier. All right, so now you're going to get to those 3 tabs. The first part is the campaign level. This is what's going to pop up first on your page. You're going to see the name that you gave it, or if you forgot to name it on the page before, you can change it here. So the first thing you're going to see are special ad categories. If you are running ads for any of these things, you need special approval. So if you're doing this for the first time and you want to talk about renting an apartment that you have, your life is going to get a whole lot more difficult. It's just things that you have to fill out if you are writing about any of these things. Politics is the most difficult one, and thankfully now most of that has gone away, but you need a separate special approval to run any sort of political ad. So just make sure that you don't speak of anything political in ads that you're writing. So elections and politics go together. Credit is very difficult. So if you are a company that is going to talk about credit cards or credit loans, there are some different hoops you have to jump through. Employment and housing, you can post ads for those right away. It's just going to limit the number of interests that you can talk about. For example, if you're running something that is to rent a house, to sell a house, or to employ somebody, you cannot focus on men or women. You must focus on all of those. And the range that you can designate for geographic has to be at least 50 miles. So social issues is really up for a toss. Sometimes when you talk about certain things, it will be read as social issues. So again, if you run into any of these issues and you need to get in more detail, let me know. We could do a separate class. But we're going to assume that you guys are just going to be, we're going to say that you're going to be selling a baby gift today. That's what we'll go with. So you will not have to say that you are running a special ad category. A/B testing is useful. Like, let's say you know what you want to say, but you have two very different pictures and you want to test them. You can choose it to run as an A/B campaign. So we're going to assume for today that you don't have that. We're just running one distinct campaign. So the next thing you're going to see on the bottom of that screen is your campaign budget. There are two ways that you can budget. You can either set a daily budget, which will spend up to that amount every day for the length of time that you've designated, or, and this is my choice, is a lifetime budget. So most of the time you know how much you want to spend on a campaign. So let's say you say, all right, I need to reach these moms in this age group who have children that are age 0 to 2, but I don't want to spend more than $100. Then you would choose lifetime budget and you would put $100 in here. The reason that that is a little bit more of an advantage is because once the computer starts to learn where to find your target market, if you've given it a daily budget, then once it hits that max, it's going to stop showing it to people. And the disadvantage of that is, like, let's say it just found 20 of your best customers ever, but you only said it could spend $5. Maybe it's going to reach 2 of them. But if you've given it a lifetime budget of $200, then it says, great, I can reach these 20 people because I can keep spending money because I have a lifetime budget. I'm not capped. I saw a question pop up. So I will go ahead and assume that I will hear that. Let me see one more right now. Who is in the chat?
They're just asking if it will be recorded. So yes, it will.
Okie dokie. Perfect. Okay, great. All right. So after you set your budget, you're going to go ahead and click next, which is on the bottom.